Hi, welcome to Jade Kind Gaming. My name is Adam. I'm here with Austin, who is playing Erich. Ryan is Henwick. Bob is Kalidan. Dick is Jimmy. Here, 40th session of the Underland Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Last time, Erich had led you guys into a fight with some wolves, which coincided with Kalidan's slod egg hatching into a tadpole inside of him.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's okay now.
He just ate that egg and used it for fuel.
They then tricked the vampire spawn Erich into a portable hole, got him away from his mistress, took the two a journey to the temple of Vecna, where they had a... What was it? Was it a grueling No, just simple, just literally picked up the withering, self-starving drow terrorist guy there, made him stare into a mirror until he got sucked into it.
It was a different take on bedside manner.
We're here to help you. Go to jail.
You then,
Because frankly, if you're going to be all self-pity like this, you might as well do it in a jail where we can get rewarded for it.
And now you're riding in the correct place.
Yes.
You then went back to the Devil Temple, where Erich was killed and brought back to life
Again.
as a stormy tiefling, and that's where we're picking up. You'd gone sort of into a little side room where I believe it was Ella's aunt, the succubus, rematerialized you into a stormy tiefling body. Was it like a purplish?
Yeah.
Tinted skin, the veiny scars that he had from the lightning strike in his youth remain, but now is like
nice.
white, like almost like looking like lightning bolts down his arms, where the blackened scars had once been before.
Some Lichtenberg lines.
Yeah, he's had those all along.
Yeah, but I wear tons of clothes.
Yeah. Well, you all saw, because when he came back, he was naked.
Yeah.
I've seen him naked, I'm sure.
Yeah. What is that? Sort of like a purplish tiefling, normal feet. Did you go with the slender or sort of the bulkier kind
Are either of them prehensile?
Neither of them have enough strength to do much. No.
No. Yeah, whichever one's smaller.
The slender one is technically smaller.
That one,
Yeah.
You need like a belt.
Just
be a saying. Does that mean if we grab and pull on it, you lose all strength and just fall over?
You didn't want like a fat, tiny dinosaur tail?
No.
Yeah, so Erich has woken up as a tiefling. And I believe you decided to lock up the room that you're in here and take a long rest here in the Devil Temple for the night.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I need to prepare sending.
And in your dream, you sense the raven in the room. And you're not really sure what's going on. It's sitting, and then for a moment it flies over and it perches on something, but you can at no point get a sense of anything around it. The raven is there, and you can tell at times, there's maybe stone or maybe some sort of velvety cushion below it. But maybe further than an inch from the raven, it's just complete and total darkness. You have no sense of anything else beyond the raven.
So a relatively peaceful night. Just the raven sort of flapping around in an empty room.
As far as you can tell.
Mm-hmm. I just figured it's the temple doing a blocking thing. Whatever.
But otherwise, there are points at the night where whether cackles or roars, thuds, even a howling stampede might awake one or more of you for brief times from outside of your door, but nothing even seems to try to open the door itself. And I'm sure you're in your bubble inside the room anyways.
Yeah. There's like Ooh, there's a couple ways to get in that bubble. Easiest is dispel, but also tricking someone into using a disintegration to get rid of that, level 2 spell?
3.
3? Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter. If they came in after us, we wouldn't have a chance.
Yeah. If they throw around disintegrations...
He made me do the rolls last time for killing him. You know you don't have a chance.
I think I'm the only one who might be able to hoof it out of there
Yeah.
if they don't follow.
I almost had a chance. If I stopped that around, I could have killed him.
But you wake up for the morning, well rested at least.
How you doing, new Erich?
Same as the old Eric.
When we were trying to make the decision on what to do, I was kind of for the actual killing of the vampire mistress, but given that they didn't want to do that option, I thought this was the second best as far as what you would want.
Well, I mean, she was very kind.
We're not going back there, ever. Not with you.
Well, I can always go later.
Sure. You're just not allowed near vampires anymore. That's how the rest of this life plays out for you.
I hadn't stopped him yet.
Yeah.
You just have to distract them with enough shinies.
So, compass pointed at a hole?
Compass is pointing at the same place it's been pointing.
Oh, yeah, so...
Although I guess
ready to
technically
go.
you probably... Did you reattune to things over there? Yeah.
We need to take Ellie back home.
Oh.
And make deals with archdevils.
Huh?
Well, that one guy does.
Yeah.
That was his reward.
Well, whenever you're ready.
Which is sending the teleport circle.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cast Sending to our...
Before we leave, let Ellie know, so if she wants to say goodbye to any family or aunt or mom.
We're leaving.
Yeah.
I can always come back.
Oh, okay.
Indeed.
Did our one dude need to come with us?
He's in a mirror.
No, not him. The dude at the hole.
Oh,
The dwarf guy.
Yeah. The Duergar.
The guy who actually wants to make the deal with Asmodeus. Should we go and get him?
No, I think we're getting information from Corpse Cart Dude to contact one of these ferrymen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fetch quest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you basically just bargain for him to pull together some information.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and cast Sending to our Mage Guild friend.
Basically, again, using up the resources that you'd handed over for another one of the teleport circles, and he will. As his job is basically just... I get access to the guild's resources, I just stay home all the time.
Do that and cast our teleport circle.
So, yeah, make your way back fairly easily. Back to Berevan. So what am I found? And sort of appearing back in the guild room, and I sort of just kind of glances around, kind of just reading spines on bookshelves. And
Oh yeah, her and her dad aren't part of the guild, are they?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
For that matter, neither was Obsidian, so... Or Onyx, or whatever that one town down
Onyx?
south.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they didn't. But I believe they noted that there were people from the guild that buy there.
Trying to make inroads and see what they can do, those magical ley lines. Alright, so...
Nod to do. Thanks.
and thank him for the assist.
Of course.
Head over to Corpse Cart.
Yeah, no.
And
no.
it's like, either go back to Corpse Cart or we could go to our inn for breakfast.
Ella's going back to
Corpse-
Holmes.
Oh, okay.
But once she gets her bearings, she's...
No, we can just go with her and eat afterwards.
I was going to go with her already.
So what's our opinion on adventuring full time? Gotta admit, it's exciting.
Yes, it is. Perhaps in another 100 or so years.
Yeah, good job with the
But
wolves.
think of all you could do in 100 years. All the places you could see.
Mm-hmm. Right now, there's all the things I can learn.
Yeah, but you
Plus-
can do that while walking.
Plus, Dad's a bit of a homebody. Gotta spend time with him while I can.
Well, adventuring's not for everyone. Unfortunately.
Is he old for
I'm really
around?
surprised you didn't say allegedly.
Not excessively, but...
Yes.
So I'm guessing devils are partially immortal or tieflings outlive them.
Tieflings have normal human lifespans.
Oh. Meaning, won't her lifespan be shorter?
No, it's Erich.
Her?
No.
She's half drow, half tiefling.
Tiefling with a normal human lifespan is based on the concept of a tiefling that is half human.
Ah. Okay.
I don't even know what he is half of.
Yeah.
Half tiefling, half devil.
Half tiefling, half human, half elf.
Double tiefling.
So he'll have the half-elf lifespan, probably.
He doesn't seem to have much of a half-elf left in him.
Except the feet.
Oh. Mechanically. Yes, the things he learned as a half-elf.
Those are important.
Do any of the tiefling feats seem useful? Or did you not?
He hasn't gotten to get a feet yet. I don't think he's looked at him.
I have not.
Oh, okay.
This is awesome. Why would he look at it? He's not there yet.
Yes. Versus Ryan, what do you mean? I have to plan all this out years in advance.
Also, if I'm guessing, they probably all have more spells.
Yeah, sort of walk in.
Hey, Volch.
He greets you with sort of a pleasant smile at L.A. and at you. Volch smiles at L.A. and you.
Well,
Give
I
her a pat on
informed
the
him.
head.
I informed him that she performed admirably. It was a grand adventure.
She killed
Full of
many
harrowing,
wolves.
combat, wolves, vampires. A grand adventure.
That's Eric, by the way, if you're about to ask. He died a little bit.
It's not the first time.
Right. Oh, and I was.
Who is this person just talking?
Talking like he knows me.
You
Also,
couldn't tell from the fancy clothes and hat?
also, we get to meet your sister-in-law. She says hi.
I don't believe she said hi. we did indeed meet her.
She would want us to say hi.
Officially speaking,
They're not
what she
married.
said was to give word to L.A.'s mother.
Oh.
That was just the though. But he kind of gives a very pleasant of her.
Right. She helped us out.
That's how we got the new Eric. Same the old Eric, except now with more tail goodness.
And
So on
purple.
both ends, knowing her.
Well, we did all see it. I don't know if we had the reference point of beforehand.
I would know.
Just right. I would know. You're a charisma. You look interesting naked. I've never seen a half-elf naked.
No, but it's because we've...
They've been betting together anytime there's been a...
Yeah, they have.
That's not what it... Yeah!
he can't...
They've been roommates.
He can't help it. He keeps sleeping.
But they've been in a room with one guy!
What do I look like? Somebody made of money?
Says guy who did go
To
to
be
the
fair,
fancy room.
Yeah.
I believe it was just, I take money and here's a new body.
Yeah.
Also, you do look like a guy made of money. Have you seen your fancy clothes?
I spent a lot of money on those clothes.
Yep.
And to be
You
fair,
still
they
have
also
all
saw
this
as she was
power.
counting out from his piles of money.
Maybe I should have, like, I got horns now. Maybe I should have them plated in like silver or jewel encrusted.
You should have let me stay in the room back when we were in our mixel and I wouldn't have been running around the town.
Horns are made of the same stuff hair is, which makes them a non-living object. Can I get them enchanted?
No, just like you can't get your hair enchanted.
I feel like that's a loophole that you could get around.
Can he put?
I feel like you could enchant your hair, but it'd fall out and it would ruin the enchantment.
Could he put silver jewels in his hair that count as his hats, and his on his horns that count as his hat slot?
There aren't hat slots. You can have jewelry on your horns, and jewelry is capable of being enchanted.
Does that
So
mean
there's
his
your-
horns can wear rings?
They generally wouldn't work for a normally found ring, but there are rings that
Well,
can be made for horns.
It
Yes.
doesn't necessarily have to be jewelry. It could be like wrappings.
Yeah.
But he couldn't put like a ring of sonic protection on his horn.
You couldn't find someone's ring of sonic protection on their finger, take it off, and put it on his horn.
Okay.
No. But you could go to an enchanter and have a ring made. You could probably take the one you found and go have it modified. But it's not going to be just a...
Well,
However, you could take that same ring that you found, and he does still have 10 fingers.
yeah.
You can just put it on one of those.
Well, we no longer have the ring limitations of 3.5.
No.
We have attunement slots. So
Yeah.
he can have all the pip jewelry he wants in rings. So I just have all of them. Or those, like
I'm
3
pretty sure
rings
the
of
vast
wishes.
majority of the rings are require attunement.
A bunch of them don't. Swimming, jumping doesn't. Animal friendship doesn't. A lot of the ones that give passive bonuses that you only use occasionally don't require attunement.
Anyways,
Yes. So what's Volch have to say about our mirror prism?
his comment is, do we have success? Which he then responds, well, he's dying, but yeah.
We have a dude to blame it on.
Yeah.
Who is actually probably guilty.
Yeah.
Well, I can probably get things in within an hour or so. You want to watch here, and I'll be back. He kind of folds down from the counter and sort of goes off to leaving the shop. You can stick around if you want. I don't know if you're wanting to be involved in court proceedings or all of that, but otherwise, if you can get it done that fast, it'll probably be later today. You'll be able to tidy up things with you.
I look down at my amulet and say, I think once is enough for court proceedings.
Mm-hmm. What slugs?
It's like we could go get something to eat. You want something, Ellie?
I'm good. We have things.
Okay.
We head on up.
Ring of jumping was attunement. It's the ring of swimming that isn't.
Which is weird. They're both athletics.
Water walking, also not attunement.
As we walk out, I look down
So are
and
they
go,
open for business?
What did you need?
Something to help me with some animals. I'm looking for a ring of animal influence.
Is that actually an item?
Yes,
Okay.
that is the item name.
Yeah, I was like just making sure before I try and.
I tried to charm the wolves, but they were beyond my skill. So I thought to supplement it with magical power.
Was that when you were just lying on his back
Yeah, I was
petting
making
it?
handle animal checks.
I thought you were just petting the big puppy in the
I
bubble.
was making handle animals. I was just really bad at it.
I
And also, I think it
disagreed that
doesn't work
those two
because
things are
it was monstrous and not an animal. Not that Erich is going to make a distinction.
Well, you also weren't quite in your right mind at the time, but yeah, we probably have something like that. Just kind of up down and she'll go.
Because I don't need a ring of swimming. I'm good at swimming, and also I can
So
fly.
does Erich have hooves now?
No.
No, I did not take
He
hooves.
got horn and a
Normal
tail.
tieflings do not have hooves. She is special that she has hooves, actually.
Special.
So what makes her a goat elf?
It's based on the visual appearance of her grandmother, Zaria, who has hooves. It's basically a lineage thing.
So, more's the point. How long are we staying in town?
Probably be at least through today.
Yeah.
And there, she walks back towards rings and some things clatter.
Yeah. Us, we have to get the
Kind
information.
of pokes her head
from
out.
them.
What were you looking for?
Bag of beans.
Rod of rope?
Yeah. Holds up what looks to be about a stiff length of hemp rope, about that long. Think that he's working on something. Kind of leans down and sets it on the ground back in her back room as she then carries on.
I skip the slugs and I head off to the forge. What? I have to fix my axe. All the advantage is used up. But in fact, if there's a way I can make it 10 instead of 5, I'd be all for it.
You can't.
I know, it's already stretching it till I have the 5.
Which, yeah, is a upgraded thing that you just have to put time on. Is a really nice little system.
Just as far as the... You really want this, but... Yeah, let's just make it work.
I really ought to just take fairy fire. I don't know if I can.
But then you have to then actively use that also, so...
I still get 1 attack. Yeah, it's a cantrip, isn't it?
No, that's
Oh,
a first level
yeah, I
spell.
don't get to use.
And it's concentration, so if you every time you take damage, you'd have to make a concentration check.
Take what now?
AoEs.
That's true. I should take the shield master feat. Gives me evasion if I have shield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then sort of walk up with the ring there. Yeah, we do have one. Is 8,000.
Well,
Does it just give a flat bonus, or have like the spell charm or hold animal or something?
It's charges to cast various spells. Animal friendship, fear, only targeting beasts with intelligence, fear lower, or speak with animals.
yeah.
So none of those actually. What was
Would
the
work
first
on
one?
monstrous? No.
Animal friendship. Okay, which I think is just a bonus to handle animal checks or something.
I don't know.
Thank God you've done your usual level of research into this.
It's like I'm willing to blow 8,000 on something that's not going to affect anything.
Yes, it's mostly and slightly less than half of it is platinum.
You know what? It's not attunement.
It is not attunement.
So it just goes on what he already has.
Nice. There you go. I pay her. I pay the girl. In money.
Wands are what?
Having sat and watched her aunt count money out of your bag, she's not surprised.
It's like, here you go. I think this is enough.
Just
As I
flag them
expertly
bricks.
pull the exact number amount I need. I could buy another one and have money left over.
Do you know if he's been working on that staff that I asked him about?
The undead one?
Yes.
I don't know if he's done anything specific as he was looking up there. Though he's got a few staffs in the works. I'm not quite sure. They're all just kind of pulls out of, whether metal or kind of a petrified sort of mushroom stalk material. So nothing. No,
Obvious.
yeah, nothing obvious. But
Okay.
I don't suppose you'd want it to be.
No, have a concealable function? Maybe
Yeah,
it'd be
it's like, I don't suppose you'd want it to be covered in skulls if you're gonna carry it around through town, basically.
Yeah. And it's like, they have a concealable function? I could see that being useful.
A plain walking stick look might be best.
So we haven't. This was the first time we dealt with it, but you don't happen to have something along the lines of a mace of disruption.
A what?
Something.
The constructs.
No, that is a mace of shattering, I think. Disruption's the undead one. I would word it as such of something specifically used against undead or vampires.
I mean, nothing specific. I'm sure something could be put together.
179.
Nothing specific. Yeah, something could be put together if you needed.
Well, I don't know if we'll fight any more undead. Just something I could put in. What about that javelin? Would that javelin fit into my thing, or did we decide it's a thrown weapon and therefore no?
You never know what's going to fit into your thing until you try.
Yeah, hence is why I ask what kind of magical weapons you have. What are you looking for? I want to see all you have so I can make a decision what I think would go into it. But you're always like, no, you have to say something first.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really hard with a guy who has no idea about magical items.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, show me what you got.
Well, that's why you ask for a thing and then out of game say exactly what it is you're looking for.
Which just seems metagaming. Which is what I just did, but she's still like, no.
It's just based on what they do and don't have.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of weapons that they don't carry huge numbers of.
Yeah.
It looks bad.
They don't want to be a magical armor.
Well,
So no, they just
An arms dealer?
Mhm.
No.
well, the scam call. You press buttons on the keyboard so it'll connect through to an operator and then you hang up on them.
When I get scam calls, I listen to the end of the recording when they say how to be removed from the list,
If you have one, yeah.
and then it removes me from the list.
If that's an option.
Usually is.
Otherwise, I waste a little bit of it. Just a little bit. Because I'm that kind of petty.
Yep.
You could have let them sit them down and let them listen to our game. Just have them on mute and they could have sat and listened to us. Discussing the death and murders. And
I don't know who we upset, but apparently we shouldn't have called them.
Bring the
talking about devil sacrifices. Oh no!
So basically, all they'll ever have, unless I order something special, is like a +1 weapon of some sort.
Yeah, they're gonna have the +1s, and they're occasionally gonna have things in because they get bored and they toy with things.
Mhm.
But
That's never let anyone afoul.
Well, my character doesn't know those things, so doesn't know what to ask for.
but you are starting to get an idea of what kind of things magical weapons can do.
Yeah.
As you've been collecting their effects. What are you doing? Do you just go off to go get food?
well,
We did tiny shopping, then I figured we'd go off there. But it's Ryan. You could have a week planned out for this visit to town.
no. No, I'll go grab something to eat and I'll go back to the guild house if we're going to be waiting. And I'm going to talk to the fellow running it. Wanted to ask him, so when I was in our Mixel at one of the main houses, they had, and whatever, I've come here in order to write some things down, but they had essentially like spell books that I could get access to when I was at the main guild hall. I was wondering both whether you have stuff like that here or what I'll have to do in order to get access to
Your tome.
well, essentially higher level tiers of tomes, because I was since I was a new member.
In general, time is the biggest thing. Time and not turning your back. Obviously, further, granting noteworthy things that catch the attention of the guildmasters can expedite the process, but otherwise, usually it's just over time, slowly granting further knowledge.
Do you have a way of sending something to one of the main guild houses?
Besides sending.
I meant like a physical object, like mailing something, or...
Sort of. How, is it small?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I figured, just in case, whatever, you didn't want to keep it here and send it out there for safekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
I handed him a copy of the book about information on gods that I created.
Okay.
And, like, I tell him what it is, and it's a tome that's got information about the whereabouts and goings-on of different gods contained within here. I've read through some of the chapters, but not all of them.
Well, and this was a appearing of a new book that just the information was.
Yeah, I just took the old book
Fabricated.
and fabricated a copy of it.
Okay.
So it's got the.
But it looks like a new book.
Yeah.
Just right away.
It looks. I tell him that it's a copy.
Yeah. Which is fine, but I'm just I am trying to go with. He knows some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So here's kind of flipping through. Interesting. A little bigger than I can send automatically, but if they would like it moved to there, they can take it when someone comes through.
Yeah, I'll leave that in your care.
Yeah, he'll just kind of walk over and he'll just sort of add it to a bookshelf. It's like, as far as general spells, we occasionally have some things here.
Well, the thing that I was wondering is that I've gotten whatever sets of scrolls, and I was going to essentially trade them into the guild if they had them on tome for me to just write them down.
Oh, yes, I wouldn't probably have that here, but a lot of times, yeah, they're able to do things like that.
Yeah, so I have some scrolls, and I could be writing some stuff down with the.
I don't want to
Why
spell
take
your
the
chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will have to go to one of the major guild houses then. Alrighty.
Which we only know the one, right?
You know up to.
Have we not been to the second one?
No.
Yeah, Narmixel and Naramax. Something like that.
So you're there, you're working, well, you're at work doing your own stuff.
Yeah, I just showed up. His help. He's like,
Yeah. He just...
While I continue to wait, I'm going to be doing further research on my crystal.
Okay, yeah. And you went off to get food. So does anyone try to go back and meet at the...
Yeah, probably around 2 or 3, or whatever bell system or whatever time system they have.
temperature?
It's not.
Okay.
Temperature's a ridiculous way to handle it.
Yes, based on how cold the cavern gets, you know. Oh, that's a good that's yes.
What time should we meet up? Goosebumps.
You know I'm more sensitive to that than you.
Global warming really wrecked their timekeeping.
But, so is the goal, when is your goal to meet?
Well, that's what I'm planning. Go up there. I figure I'll bring Erich with me. I don't know about the others, and just go up there and check. It's like,
Go up where?
Was the goal to meet before or after the court proceedings?
oh,
After.
we never checked on that. That's why I'm just picking a random time to go up there and ask if he's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, I was going to say, well, wait, you said 2-3. He said, I can get I can probably get, basically a hearing in 2 to 3 hours. And I didn't know if you'd misheard that because you used the same numbers as I had used,
No.
only putting it as a PM as opposed to from that time. That's what I was trying to figure out. Were you trying to, so your goal is to meet later in the day once they finish that all up.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me just a moment, as it sounds like no one is trying to go to that.
No.
Okay, so I have to play it out in my head really quick to see how things go. Give me a second.
We are told not care about your story.
I didn't bother to think too much about it because I figured one of you would go and mess things up. So
More importantly, we need to make sure that people understand my story. Because Erich's back, and he's got a new body.
Oh, yes. I will... Yeah, I'm going to go
So I
ahead
go
and...
find a tavern where somebody's singing my song, and then I gotta let them know. Have you heard about the time I died?
Wait,
I upgrade
Was
Erich.
a couple days ago.
yeah, before he goes out, make him look like an old elf.
Well, no, he needs to look like himself. So this is the new Erich von whatever, or Raspe, or whatever.
Rauda Raspe.
Raspe.
Honestly, you work for the man, you don't even know his name.
He's not a clever man.
I'm not. I have like 10 intelligence. But I do upgrade your charisma. Here, have some advantages spreading your story. Because at this point, it has opened more doors for us. And I just don't care about being the bardier of the two of us, even though I have the levels.
What are you talking about? I got 12 levels of bard.
Sorcerer.
Yeah, it's a subclass of sorcerer.
I don't know. You're like the party's arcane trickster.
Yeah, something. Let's be fair. I'm the party's warlock.
You were trying to be something besides Fire's Warlock.
Yeah, I was going to be the party's fighting bard, but that went down the drain when I died.
And you're not super good at fighting.
And also when I decided to play bard.
That's why I specified fighting bard.
I am good at exploding things. I am not good at fighting. Though I do own a very fancy rapier. It's like
And that's half the battle.
It's like triple the cost of a normal rapier.
Yeah, I don't even know if I actually got up to the College of Swords or whatever it was in my thing to give my inspiration to other stuff because I never use it. You know, that very, very core mechanic that the capstone improves.
Yeah.
Inspiration, that thing you don't use.
You do when I make rolls sometimes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when we're trying to roll giant numbers for funnies, usually.
I'm gonna have to guess that's persuasion. We're gonna need a persuasion check.
Neat.
You have advantage.
That's
Nice.
for 20. Thank you for the advantage.
Well, you seem to be making good time on what should be taking you at least a week or two to accomplish. You're starting to make some progress. At least convincing people you're really him.
Anybody else look like me? Talk like me?
You don't look like you.
Dress like him. That is a very distinctive heart-beating spider outfit.
There's only one man, Gaston.
Oh yeah. So how many slugs did you eat when you were young?
None.
We didn't have
I had cow.
We had beef. Eggs.
To improve.
Oh
charisma.
yes, I love myself a good spider egg omelet.
No, these were from chickens. They're literally made of chicken.
And
Yeah.
don't taste a thing like chicken.
You have to eat phoenix eggs.
Well,
to
it tastes
improve
just
charisma.
like chicken. And corn. Corn literally grows out of the ground.
They have farms here.
Those
I
farms
just
don't
say-
have corn.
They don't have corn, but they know how things grow out of the ground.
Yeah, but they don't have corn.
No.
Which is why they're all so tiny. Humans, corn-fed.
But not till, like, way later.
No, they would put corn
The crops, they grew directly in the center of the air. Why?
Alright, so during that time, you're just kind of hanging out there at the shop. You're just staying in the guild. Are you hanging out with him?
Yeah.
Are you basically traveling between?
Yeah.
Yeah. The pair of you are probably the only ones that are noticing because you're busy, you're not noticing at all. You can make a perception check.
Yay! I actually rolled well. I'm surprised. 22.
22. You would notice, probably as someone is coming in or out, maybe you're going to almost notice as maybe the shop is a little bit of refuge. There is a point after about 4 hours from when you left that the Drider descend.
Ah, this again. well, at least we don't have Bob snacking on a slug, obstinately.
No, instead I'm working obstinately.
Yeah. Eating menacingly.
But they seem a lot less sort of inquisitory. They almost seem to descend and form a formation heading up the levels.
Well, they just descend, do a fancy spider jig in the streets, then go away.
No, like they descend from where they were, and then pretty much go into formation like a marching order, and are heading up towards basically Nomos.
Watching that go by, it's like, I wonder why they didn't just go up above the nobles' quarters, then come down from the ceiling.
Don't know. Let's see what they're doing.
Procession, yeah.
Follow at a respectable distance. That is non-threatening.
Have I gotten my axe complete by this time?
Do all the drivers look the same?
Yes. No.
Do any of them look like they're obviously in charge?
No.
None of them are wearing fancy hats or have bars and stuff on their arms.
How much work
Yeah,
does the
just
dwarf
follow
have to
them.
do today?
The dwarf always has about the same amount of work. The dwarf doesn't generally take, customers. He just sits and has fun with his craft and has more stuff on those boards than he can actually sell at any time. But he just keeps making stuff.
I look at the dryer, look over at the dwarf with a questioning air.
Did the Drider come
He
inside?
has no concept. No, he has no concept that you have to work there. You show up and help him sometimes. You're not a deploy. You're a 4-time contract guy that just shows up and says.
It says nothing. It just starts doing stuff.
Picks his own hours.
Yeah.
I just kind of give him a thumbs up, take off my apron over my gigantic clanky armor, and follow the drow procession.
Yeah. Right, just
Whatever.
They have crowns on top.
They're Centaur.
And to that was the extent that they do not look the same.
Centaurs.
Is there are different people.
I
There are
bungled
different.
that. English is hard.
Don't worry, Dustin will call it a scimitar.
Centaur.
Are any of
Those
them
half
different
horse,
types of
half
spiders,
swords.
like fuzzy ones, or
No,
are they all like
remember,
very
you're
smooth,
a
black widowy
barbarian.
types?
He uses
Or?
a scimitar,
They
right?
don't have the Argus, but they are very much the black widowy type here. You get a small sense that there is some variation, not much within the ranks here. But there are slight ones, slight differences. But yeah, you can get the feeling that there might be
truly
differences.
weird spiders.
Yeah, nothing excessively different. But that might be a local kind of thing.
Okay, as terrifying as a Drider is, I think it would be more terrifying if it was like a daddy long legs Drider. Standing 15 feet tall!
Actually, completely harmless, but terrifying.
Daddy Longlegs, the kinkiest of the spiders.
And the procession actually doesn't make it all the way up to the top level. Goes up to the Queen's Eyes.
Please
and-
tell me they're not raiding the corpse garden.
But basically they form ranks around the site where
The library was?
yeah, where the Caebris-nem halls are being reconstructed. So where the only one you see that does seem to have some sort of rank or air to it is basically looping from beyond sight below and basically forming a noose.
Oh, neat. Public hanging.
The best kind of hanging.
And yeah, a lot of people start, once they figure out what's going on, a lot of people basically see them descend, run into hiding, and then, like you, slowly followed from a distance once they figured out, okay, they're not after us. they
Guilty conscience much?
Yes, of course, I just walk out and just start following them.
Yeah. It's like, I don't fear Driders. I didn't do anything wrong.
There are a lot of them, and I don't know their CR? Yeah, CR.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. But that didn't stop them from taking Bob.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they gave him back because he didn't do anything wrong.
I actually profited from that.
Yeah. I mean, that just happens sometimes. Also, Bob was acting shifty.
Yeah.
Not at all.
But otherwise, yeah, basically, a couple of male drow leave from the lower levels. Nick Salma down, literally like holding him up as his feet are kind of dragging, and he is sort of whimpering and crying.
So he's not handling it particularly well.
Though his... I don't know. Are any of you trying to get close to the events, or are you basically staying...
Mid-crowd.
Okay, so if crowd of people will stand amongst the event, then you would try and get up.
Oh, no, I'm on front line.
Okay. Then you can probably hear, as they're preparing to hang him, basically crying out to save Carnatel.
Who?
Carnatel.
Okay, that didn't help. You just repeated it.
That is a name we don't know. That's as simple as that is.
Well, he never asked for that when he was, comatose in the church, so...
Yeah, it's, I don't take requests.
Carnatel is a female drow wizard that I made a deal with in the library.
Mm.
Oh, well, there you go. He recognizes that name.
Of course he does.
He's not there!
Which is really
Well,
unfortunate for what's her name.
Lean over to somebody right. Who's Carnatel? Just random passerby. You know who that is?
Never to be brought up to Ryan again.
I know a guy that had backstrap.
What was his name, Erich? That's me. I died recently.
He did. Got brought back.
Can't be.
Yeah, reincarnation. We spend the rest of the proceedings
Let me
talking
tell
about this
you
guy.
a story!
People in back are tripping you like you're at a movie theater.
Still have advantage.
Oh, that's still?
Yeah.
9. Well, 9 or 9. I'll take that for my 21. 22. You know what's more enthralling than a public hanging?
Oh, we missed it!
Amazing story of how I died.
As people further away kind of start to cheer. Oh, we missed it.
Erich gets up on the gallows talking about how he died, and they just
But
start
otherwise,
hanging him.
For those of you paying attention, yeah, it's basically he has declared his guilt, his capture, and you do notice Volk is basically standing off to the side, up in sort of the ranks. Queen absent, but there are a number of other people from her house that you see sort of standing amongst the line.
I, of course, am eyeballing absolutely everyone.
Yeah. Volk is up there looking very proud.
I did this! I did this!
Yeah.
I'm good at sending my daughter to be a gopher.
He got a proper guard to do it with.
Hey, we all made very clear on that mission. Our goal during all times was to protect her above each other.
Yeah.
That was not my goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your goal was adventure. The rest of us were protect her. That's why you died.
Which I think I succeeded my goal just
Well,
fine.
no,
Yeah,
no.
adventure.
Erich died due to his own decision making.
Well, yeah, for adventure. See, if he had prioritized her safety and slept in our room with us, to, make sure she had the most guards, he wouldn't have died. Now, would you?
Would have been a lot harder.
Yeah. Now, is there just like a drop floor gallows, or does the spider just pick him up, climb up the rope, and just toss him off with the noose on there?
You guys aren't watching. You guys are busy with the story. But no, it is literally a drider climbs up to the top, and basically it is wrapped around his neck, and then weight is added to the other side, lifting him by his neck up beyond vision, and then collapsing him back down to the ground.
The worst kind of hanging. Because a hanging, you just break their neck pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
If it's done
Versus this is a
correctly,
strangulation.
it's almost instantaneous death.
I hear they're trying to get.
He is in a weak
off
enough
like
form that he
firework.
probably just had his neck break. But yeah.
Should have drank more milk. That was his problem, flying potassium.
Mm-hmm. Also, the giant noose around his neck and blowing up the library for Vecna.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Bad choices all around.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, my armor would have saved me.
It probably would have removed it.
Well, that's cheating.
Oh, that's cheap. Nice.
That's how they would have done things.
They would have
Bob,
cheated so hard.
The fully armored Bob, a lot less scary out of armor.
No, I can still summon axes.
But you're a lot more stabbable.
Yeah.
Or hangable, for that matter.
Yeah, without armor, my AC is 12.
Yeah.
Armor, no armor, about the same amount of damage as far as I'm concerned.
That's more than that. You'd still have your shield unless we took that away from you, too.
I was counting that as armor.
Thank you. I would as well. For example, if they removed your armor, they would also be removing your shield.
And probably my weapons, but those you
Those
can't
you can-
remove
yeah.
so easily.
I'm guessing his things of protection also.
Yes, Nick. I wouldn't be wearing my equipment while they execute.
Have you tried teleporting? That's what I'd do.
No, I would just use my boots of flying, because apparently they leave me most of my equipment, but not the armor, because that's a step too far.
I'm just saying how dangerous you would be without your armor, period, in a fight. Is what I was looking at your AC.
Oh,
Yeah.
17?
Anyways,
So, Spectacle looks like he got his man.
yeah.
We'll have to ask him later if that was actually the dude. We did not research very hard.
Probably.
I mean, you basically had a confession from him the first time you met him.
Yeah.
But he seemed really lonely, crazy. He might just be claiming stuff.
Hey, don't start claiming terrorist attacks.
Yeah. But sometimes crazy do to feel important.
He
And
was.
then crazy gets arrested.
Yeah, he was
They don't
doing
get
something
involved.
for some reason that he never adequately really explained.
You have to remember about attention-seeking behavior. You might just get the attention you're seeking.
Mm-hmm.
So, after that, takes another 15 minutes, perhaps a little longer for the crowd that's still listening to you.
Yeah.
But people start to disperse, and the Drider kind of climb over buildings and up walls and ascend.
Do they just leave like giant strings hanging from the ceiling whenever they come down, and just they stay there for a while?
They stay for a short while, but once they go back up, they tend to be cut and fall to the ground.
That's like Spider-Man's webs. They sway the wind.
They don't eat them to reclaim the protein?
No, it's magic web.
Don't say no like that's not a thing, mister. I've designed an entire spider race that did exclusively that.
And it had like 4 different types of web.
Yeah.
Look at spiders, they're fascinating. Gross, but fascinating. But no, they're a cursed race that doesn't really need to consume to preserve themselves.
And otherwise, there'd just be a bunch of hats stuck up in the ceiling. People walk by, didn't see the web. Snatches a hat.
Imagine there's just like fly strips that hang from the ceiling. You just run into them all the time. Oh, God, it's in my hair.
They should be lucky that the Driders don't have to go to the bathroom while they're up there.
Again, they don't need to consume things.
Lucky for the people below them.
What is that? Aren't we all happy that cows can't fly? Almost got pooped on by a cow once. It was gross. I was like 6. And a horse tried to pee on me once. I don't like horses.
I like horses. They're big.
I've had like 2 experiences with horses. One of them tried to pee on me, and the other one tried to bite me. Not apparently, horses just don't fucking like me. It's fine.
Just like your food.
Those carnivore horses.
Yes.
They eat ducks.
Yeah. Don't underestimate a horse. They will eat you.
Deers eat ducks too.
Don't worry, you're not a duck.
They'll just
What is the
Nobody
animal
likes
kingdom
ducks.
about?
No, they're herbivores unless there's a bird that's small enough to fit in their mouth, and in which case they will crunch and munch that bird.
For the flavor.
For the calcium is the current thought process. But no, herbivores eat animal protein too.
Take that, PETA.
No, PETA's all for killing animals.
Yeah.
Like that
They
little,
just want the monopoly on it.
like that little girl whose dog they kidnapped and then killed before she could get it back.
Better dead than a pet. A literal opinion PETA has.
They also
Shut up!
they insulted Steve Irwin, so they're pretty much the devil.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
thus I don't want to hear about them.
Alright. So, how many hours of research do I get?
How long did you want to stay there?
Till it's time to meet up with the corpse cart folk?
You didn't have a specific time unless you were trying to get to...
Well, I still have my sending stone with him. When we follow... Because figure we're just going to follow what's his name back to the shop.
He actually goes back up to the, Queen? Yeah, up to the palace.
Oh. In that case, more bar hopping. We'll try again in an hour or so.
So another couple hours, and basically you just go to the shop, see that he's there, and then call Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay, because he'd be there, back there by then.
I head back to work
Okay.
since I stopped mid-job. I'm training.
Yeah, probably... 5 hours.
Okay.
I don't suppose that helps my percentage.
Why not today?
Yeah, I'm at 43.
But yeah, a little more. Spreading rumors.
Yeah. Not rumors. These things happen.
It's still spreading rumors. It's just spreading rumors with a persuasion check instead of a deception check.
Yup.
Yeah. Rumor doesn't mean that it's a lie.
It usually means. Spread a couple lies, too.
Spreading
Just to make it
gossip
juicy.
doesn't have the lie connotation.
Just to make it juicy.
So sad that gossip became a negative connotation for me.
Just used to be the talk of the town.
No, it used to be that during the women's menstruation period, they went to a special house
So rumors
so
is
they
actually
could
the title of the
all
thing.
bleed together, as it were.
We can't have
And
it.
it was like no men were allowed, basically, and then they just sat there and chit-chatted, and that was the gossip house.
Mm.
And it was kind of a nice thing.
For the men, because all the administrating women would be in another place.
Well, for the women, because they could all bond and catch up on stuff.
Anyways. Back
Like,
to
you're
the
not
game.
moving fast enough. We'll tangent away.
Yes, so you stop in, he's there. What do? You inform Ryan.
Yeah, he's ready to talk and do other stuff now.
Okay. Yeah, so you start that before Ryan gets there.
Well, I just ask, and if it's like, yeah, then we're calling Ryan. Yeah. We'll call Ryan,
And
and he'll
if
be up
Ryan
here.
wants to pick me up, he knows where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was guilty and everything, right?
He seemed to think so.
Good enough for me.
Sounds like he killed off his daughter in the process.
He had a daughter.
This is
what he said.
Amos.
Did
Well,
say
he didn't
why?
mention that.
No, we did not go to the proceeding. We'll just ask secondhand.
No, the thing is, he specifically mentioned it.
Well, he didn't
Yeah.
have a daughter.
He mentioned a girl. My girl.
I figured that was like a girlfriend. Possibly because he was being crazy and mumbling. Probably some girl he just saw across the way and was like unrequited lusting after.
Yeah.
And we told him no.
How did we?
You're weird.
How are we supposed to know that he was from the Arkansas equivalent of the Underdark?
Yeah. Going after his own daughter. What a weirdo.
Don't you love when we make assumptions while avoiding your story? Make our own story up with tapestry of lies and half listening.
Lots of half listening.
Yeah. Wants his girl back, but doesn't actually want to do anything about it.
That was it.
Yes.
Go get someone to res her. That's a thing. Go earn some money.
Yeah. I mean, like, it was only like 1,000 gold for me.
They had part of you.
Well, yeah.
It's like 10,000 for her if she was completely evaporated in the explosion.
So you're saying is
really
you
should have
love the
timed that
daughter.
where your girl wasn't in the place you were bombing.
Kind of looks over at LA. Don't suppose he could have if he did that.
Hmm?
I mean, I'm assuming you're there now. So
I don't know whether Ryan or not got me.
Did you get him?
Yeah, I would have
Okay.
got him if...
Yeah.
Don't so he could have.
Unless Jimmy's like, no, I've already got Kalidan.
I just say he's ready. And he's back at the shop.
Yeah.
I don't know what I have to do with that.
What?
Getting people back.
You made a comment that you didn't love her.
Oh, okay.
So,
He was mixed passive out of character comment.
I know! And then I acted like he didn't because he was saying something.
so
I didn't know I was there.
I'll ask what happened. I was busy working. So what's been going on?
They hung the dude.
Tried and executed.
Swift justice.
Okay. Is that it?
You'd say swift, but I mean, took us several months. Still.
I mean, you found him and executed him the same day. It's pretty swift.
Yeah, technically like 2 days.
No, like later that day. You came in, he did the proceeding.
Oh yeah, from there. We captured him yesterday.
Well, yeah, but that's what we did.
Yeah.
Anyways, you were seeking a Merrenoloth.
Well, not me, but yeah, I got.
Technically, you came in and said yes. You asked for it. You were seeking it.
Yes.
Well, we have a guy we know who wants to make a deal with the devil. To help
I do
fight
believe
our-
that was basically the deal with that he struck with there. Correct? Was that he would
Yes.
look up information.
Mhm.
And then yeah, he'll kind of break down. I was able to pull some strings, talk to some friends, and find information on the location of 2 Merrenoloths in the relative area, though we know the true name of neither, so any sort of assistance from them would have to be at a bargain they saw fit. Rumors did tell that such information had been in the Caebris-nem halls, but it seems to have been lost with them. So the closest actually isn't far. The bulkhead lives upriver from Garen, but the farmers who'd mentioned it said he was growing settled with the years and might not be the easiest to work with. Still, if need be, he is close. The cannon, a bit further, I believe she's living on Sooth Island in the Shattered Sea. Of course, there's obviously many more beyond the material plane, but...
But
many of
what
those
sea?
are- The Shattered Sea.
Is that down in the Underdark or above ground?
Oh, no, of course. To the south.
I didn't know there was underground seas.
Oh, yes, certainly.
As I look at Ryan's, I wanted to be an underground pirate!
How long into the game have we gone before we've gotten to this?
Alright. I've been shipwrecked, you matey.
Wait, what?
I originally was going to take a pirate background.
You wanted to be an underground pirate. I told him no, that there weren't enough
so I
sea.
could have a skeleton crew.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, because
Because
remember,
he
most
wanted
of
a
this
fun.
stuff is fun. This is fun based. Is your current character based on a poem that we don't know about?
No. He's just based off of
I thought your name was.
Henwick? No.
No. No.
Heartlocket? No. That's just,
A thing you have. Yeah.
like iconography.
Yeah, not everyone puts as much thought into their names as you do, Nick.
From songs
think-
and other stuff.
I think most people actually put a fair bit more.
That was the joke.
But, alright, so we got two Merrenoloths, and we got the Bulkhead, who's a bit more bullheaded, and upriver from Garen, and the Caven.
The cannon.
Cannon.
Even the church says he's there.
In the Shattered Seas to the south. Nah.
Well, figure we go check on the first guy because it's closer. Then, if that doesn't work out, we'll travel down south.
And, I did, during the few days you were away, toy around with some rope if you wanted to, if you were still looking for interesting rod. He sort of goes back and pulls up what is sort of a baton, of basically a stiff hemp rope. He sort of, as he fiddles with, popping one side just starts spooling out, a few hundred feet of rope, and then it can kind of pull it back in, or sort
Does
of
it work like the rod of rope or
basically,
hook?
yeah, basically can press another button and sort of like it wraps around him and can kind of shoot to a wall and yeah. Now it would be, it did require quite a bit to go into this. It would be 5,000 if you wanted it, but
I just pull off my bag and start pulling out money.
yeah.
As he's like continuing his speech before he even gets to the price, I pull out the money. I'm like, 5,000.
Yeah, basically 3 buttons. One produces up to 300 feet of rope from an end, and sending it back through will automatically undo any knots. The next will basically wrap one end around a hand and shoot like a grappling hook, pulling up to 300 feet, attaching to any solid surface it hits.
Does it have a weight limit?
Let's see.
Because I weigh 340 pounds.
And
Without
able
anything
to
else.
be reactivated to pull the user and up to their carrying capacity towards the other end.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's great.
Especially
when you take into account my carrying capacity.
yeah. If it can do
I
a
could pull
30
these.
/ 300 1d6 bludgeoning ranged attack. Nothing fancy, but yes, it won't attach to people, but you can still just
Shoot at them.
shoot at people, and then it will also do with the center button. It will
Do the
basically
dual.
loop around your hand and shoot 300 feet in both ends to either what you put it horizontal and pull yourself across, or at an angle and slide down.
I mean, I have boots of flying, so it's superfluous.
But
still.
you know what? I bothered to write some stuff up and freaking make the item you've been telling me to make for how many different campaigns?
He does love it. And heck, your boots of flying only have so much time per day.
4
And-
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is non-attunement and
And
no restriction other than one button at a time.
yeah, and it can be a 600 long foot rope that magically attaches to any surface.
Yeah, 300-foot long normal rope. 600 feet is only for that central
both
function.
sides. Yeah.
You just fire it down and up. And
Okay.
Does it have the automatic draw up, or will it automatically move along the thing?
It will
The
move
center-
along, but you would have to either pull it or
Yeah, it's
grab it.
only the one grapple that...
Yeah, it's only the one grapple that actually pulls you up.
Oh.
Which then, from where you are, is still 300 feet up, which is that direction.
And I can carry the entire party in weight.
I was wondering that when I did that.
That's heavy build.
Yeah, I wrote it down somewhere. as I recall. Yeah, I have a 600-pound regular, and I can drag 1,200 pounds.
Anybody have Vulch there? I give him 1,000 gold as a down payment for working on the staff.
While we're at it, did we have specifics? Because you went over a lot of theoretic ideas of what you wanted it to do. You hadn't.
Just all of them.
Well, I wanted the ability to summon either skeletons or zombies that would either be under my direct control or summon them from a different plane so I'd have corpses that I could make use of. The ability to keep control of undead by dedicating spell slots instead of having to cast a spell every day. And being able to give commands at a greater distance than 60 feet.
Okay, so you want all three of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not just a staff with charges of this is how many extra undead that are just permanently under your control with a dedicated charge?
No.
No? You don't like that?
No. I'd
More
rather
utility.
have it to where I won't have to see them absolutely.
And how much did you put down?
day. Huh? 1,000 gold.
Well, that's why it's a dedicated charge. They just stay in your control for the charge. Versus
He
eating
has
up
that-
your own slots.
Huh?
Versus you still having to spend your spell
Yeah,
slots.
Probably
You're
not.
talking about additional castings of the spell?
No, I'm just talking about it has so many extra slots. It's just these are undead are under your control now. Versus yours wants to eat up your actual castings.
If that's how it works, then whatever.
I don't think he's as worried about his spell slots.
Yeah.
Those aren't,
See how
at
they
this
would
point,
be used for that.
super
Yeah.
high level spells of his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be used for that one way or the other.
Yeah.
No, the main thing is being able to control them without me having to look at them every single day.
Yeah.
Because they're stinky.
Well, no, because sometimes we have
Because
to
you
leave
enter
them-
a town for a week, and he just kind of has to leave them somewhere.
What's the portal holes for?
Yeah, but that still means they're not in his control unless he wants to open it up within the town and risk someone finding out.
Well, that's what I always do in private, since I
Yeah.
have to do that every day anyway.
But it's still a gamble every time, so it's, yeah.
House cleaning.
No house cleaning. House cleaning.
Alright, so.
So, down into the Underdark?
Well, upriver currently. To,
Can't we just deliver the locations to that guy, and he can do that, and then we can go down? That both completes the quest and takes us somewhere new.
Well, the other one could take us to the Shattered Sea.
I like that plan.
Shattered Sea, up a river that you've never gone. If you go, you could literally be going to hell.
I don't like.
I mean, to most people that sounds terrible, but to your character, that's somewhere you've never been.
You can stop negotiating. I'm good. Alright? I'm sold.
It's like any of these are.
I'm just sitting there like,
Okay. Alright, I'm in. Let's go to hell. Let's go meet Asmodeus.
Just to let him speak when he gets to Asmodeus.
I mean, hey, we're basically brothers, right?
I'm a tiefling, you're a devil, basically the same race.
Look how fantastic I look. That's a family resemblance right there.
Are we
Passive flattery.
are we spending the rest of the day here since it's whatever kind of middle of the evening, or?
I don't see why.
Well, I'm wondering, like, are we going to start our journey and go to bed, or what?
Yeah, we'll just get out of town and go as far as we can. No reason to stay in town for the night. We always stay in town too long. If we give you an inch, you'll take 2 days to write down a new spell.
We don't have that opportunity.
that looks sad that he doesn't have an opportunity to write down new spells.
We'll have to cast Teleport Circle and go to one of the major cities.
Does the guy at the guild currently have materials to do another?
He should. If not, I'll take some
I mean-
more off of my sheet.
Well, I mean, you've been also the one that's supposed to have been keeping track of how much you gave him.
Oh, how much I gave him?
Yeah.
I think I just took it off my sheet when I handed it over.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if you had just given him enough for one time or...
Ryan and his obscene amount of notes.
They're so useful.
It's literally the reason that he gets to use a laptop and none of you do.
I don't have a laptop. Well, I do, but it tries to act like it's a helicopter and wants to take off.
I've
That'd
turned
be
on
another
my
reason not to.
laptop in like 3 or 4 years, and even then, it didn't want to turn on.
Yeah. Say, I only have written down that I've got that I gave him a bunch of different locations.
Okay.
I think you gave him like 3 uses, like 200 gold worth.
That'd be 4 uses.
Yeah.
Plus, if I had a laptop, I'd probably be playing Minecraft while my guy's quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Another reason you don't get to...
I mean, I could just play Minecraft on my phone.
But who wants to play cell phone Minecraft?
Good point.
So how much do we want to say he's got?
6 million.
Well, you gave him the 200. What else do you give him?
Okay, so just keep track of that. So yeah, no, it's the idea is you want to make sure that you can come back here at some time. So if he doesn't have a use, then the result of sending would be, I don't got that stuff, and you'd have to find a way to wash.
check bounced.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I'm good for it. Man, I don't have that.
I don't. I literally need the stuff.
You can go up to the corpse cart and buy it. I'm good for it, man.
I would be. I'd
Sell
just
some
hand-
plasma. I know somebody who's buying.
So whatever. He's got 200 then.
Well, I guess 150 because you just used one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so yeah, you about get to you get to Garen before it basically is bedtime.
Sweet.
Okay.
Here's just the small village.
It's that fishing village that you first came to when you got down here.
Oh, so we went south?
We gotta go meet your best friend.
Wait,
the guy that we.
are we going to hell? Because I'm not going to hell.
No, we're going to find a devil who could get us someone to
proper
hell.
name is Beator. That's where we're going.
And frankly, we're not going. We're going to find them, see if we can strike a deal to get this other guy to hell.
Why isn't this other guy going with us?
Because he needs to stay near the hole for communications with his Duragar or something. I forget.
For reasons.
Yes.
Great reasons.
The best reasons. He has
It's nothing but the best reasons.
Also, it's not a devil; it is a Yugoloth.
Oh, it is one
It
of
is a
those
fiend that
unique-
is it's a
unique
fiend that
little
is that is not allied within the Blood War.
You know what they call that? Filthy fence sitters.
I would
Also,
be
the
Mercenaries.
Filthy fence sitters.
the neutral evil ones to their law and chaos.
I can see that the demons would be okay with that, but I can't see the devils ever looking at it anything other than just, you're basically demons. You're not with us, you're against us. Even if you're with us some of the time.
that's the way of the Sith.
Do you get absolutes?
Yeah, which he says with an absolute.
Well, Seth are just misunderstood. I mean, hey, you murder a couple kids and everyone's like, ooh, you're the bad guy now.
Well, it wasn't the couple, it was the 30 or 40 after the couple, because those kids were little shits and they deserved it.
You see him trying to draw a sword on him? I saw that movie. Kids had lightsabers. They were challenging Darth Vader to a duel.
He showed them.
Their
That's
screams,
right.
Their screams of help was a challenge to a duel.
Yeah.
I prefer the image he just went to his happy place. You have fields of sunflowers, just chopping down some sunflowers to bring to Padme. Here's your sunflowers! Oh god, it's dead babies!
Whoops. What do you say? Do you say someone?
Yeah. And when we are gonna hunker down for the night, I'll go ahead and cast whatever my 2 spells, but I'm going to be casting Sending.
Okay.
So I'm going.
And are you just basically camping between some people's houses?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
We live here now. This is our permanent bubble.
It's like, what are those guys doing? No. Don't. Just don't.
So
Their adventures are insane.
I'll send a message to Ladiger about essentially that we had gotten some information about 2 different locations where we might be able to locate Merrenoloths, and we'll be investigating them. I asked him, where do you want to come in this kind of situation? After we've located them, or what?
Yeah. And does he have, what's the limitation on
25 words, I believe.
Sending. $25 words or less. Yeah.
Okay. Best place to join would be when going into the hells. Still hoping to contact Gith.
Someone get that poor man a cough drop.
Doesn't help that he talks like an elephant and so slow about it.
Okay. Alright, so he wants to join us when we actually find a portal.
Yes. Like, make a deal for ourselves to this Merrenoloth without, him giving stuff up.
No. I'm not going to hell. It ain't happening.
Alright. And then I'll go ahead and...
You need to work on your party member.
I'll go ahead and send a sending message to Wevy to give her just a brief update on what's going on.
Because you have spells you haven't used and had something prepared today, so why not?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, glad things are progressing. You've learned a lot more than you knew even a month ago.
Well, got
She is basically a woman just being left standing. We'll get married as soon as I figure out my own personal quest.
Eventually!
I'm not afraid of commitment, you're afraid of commitment. If you weren't afraid of commitment, you would be helping me with my quest for lost memories. In a giant blood war with slaves and going to hell.
Oh, here, take some potions of speaking with the dad. Oh, here, I've done...
Yeah, but what have you done for us lately?
I mean, lately, Eric's died for you. I mean, Erich mostly died for himself, being stupid, but...
Well, it died for me, what? And that I get to relay the story now? It's got expanded the excitement of my history now?
Well, and so far that we're finding out your history, getting this Duragar in a trip, it was all his side quests leading into your main quest. Therefore, Erich died for you. And me, technically. Because that's also my main quest.
Well, your main quest was also to die?
No, my main quest is start slave war. His was return memories, yours was get Uncle Argyle, and now we're keeping you here against your will.
Pretty much how it's going.
You're still waiting on your uncle.
Mm-hmm.
He's recuperating.
Yes.
He has to build strength in those.
I could legitimately just get him out at this point.
But yeah,
I could strap him to me with like a papoose or something and just get him out.
Especially with the boots of flying and rod of rope, there's no way that hole could stop you now. Or that minotaur, he would kick that minotaur's butt. Even with an Uncle Argyle papoose.
but yeah,
You would just have to suffer the indignity of being in a
I'm ready to go
papoose.
to. I further do research until it's bedtime.
Then we'll go up the river.
So, morning comes, and I would like to point out, again here, the way that this town is functioning. This town is here, and there have been holes carved into the floor where the river goes underneath the town itself, and that is how they fish.
Yeah.
There is no open passage of river.
Yeah.
Just the holes in the below the town that go into the water.
Because it's an underground river.
Yes. It's an underground river that doesn't have, like, space above it.
See, you called me paranoid all those times I tried to get water-breathing magics, and now we have to go underwater and swim up a river.
Or we could just travel along the path that it takes.
It
There is
doesn't
no
take
path.
the
There's
path.
a wall there.
There's
a wall on that side of the city.
So we need to get water breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's depressing.
Well, then traveling to this town was useless because we're going to have to go to a major city now if we want water breathing.
Or we can just ignore this one guy and go to the Shattered Seas.
I'm not going to the Shattered Seas.
The Shattered Seas isn't hell.
It leads to hell.
No, it doesn't. It leads to another monolith, or Merrenoloths.
I do not have water breathing as a spell.
Which sucks. It's like a multi-person, multi-hour thing without concentration.
And I'd be able to get it, but I need to go to an actual major city.
Mm-hmm. Because no one has water breathing in.
Nobody has ink.
Mm-hmm. Well, Corpse Card has ink.
I'm not paying for it. I'm trying to get
I will spend 50 gold so I don't have to spend that money. No, it would be 100 gold to get there and back. So you wouldn't have to buy alchemy or ink supplies.
And it's 50 gold per level of spell, and it's a 3rd level spell, so it is cheaper to cast Teleport Circle.
He got you there.
Okay,
That's good math.
everyone okay to go to the dwarf city real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like...
Yeah, I planned for that.
Parts are easy, man.
It's like, nope, this is still covering on your budget. And hell, if we're spending an entire day there, that's 3 hours to copy that. You'll probably get some other spells too. We can go meet up with your fancy people. Bob can go to the church.
Yeah, I can go get some more training and sneak in some more training.
7th level spell, Mordenkainen's Sword. And 2nd level spell, Spiritual Weapon.
Oh yeah,
They
that
are
was talked
almost-
about as a trap spell.
They are almost exactly the same, except Spiritual Weapon is better in almost every way.
Exactly.
Spiritual weapon versus what?
But
Mordenkainen's
spiritual weapon is a
sword.
cleric spell.
Well, yeah, Mordenkainen's sword's bad and spiritual weapon's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is even concentration. And it's a 7th level spell slot. And it does less damage than a 7th level casting a Spiritual Weapon.
And it's an action.
It takes 1 action to cast. Spiritual Weapon's only a bonus action.
Yeah.
They both trigger on bonus action, same range. The Mordenkainen's Sword costs 250 gold per casting.
Yeah.
It does 3d10.
Should have been a cleric.
Whereas the Spiritual Weapon at that level would do 68.
Should have been a cleric.
Should have been a sorcerer.
Is Spiritual Weapon a sorcerer spell?
It's a cleric spell, so sorcerers can get access to it.
Can we?
Yeah.
Only if you take a specific
Sub.
Divine Control, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I was looking at that, I'm like, wait a minute, this looks not as good as Spirit. It is just flat out worse.
There's
Just-
also a type of paladin that gets access to spiritual weapon.
That is impressively
One
bad.
of the oaths.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that is disappointing.
It's not Detect Traps bad though.
Is Tech Trap really bad?
Oh, go check out Detect Traps if you want to complain about a spell.
And you know he does.
He does. I know he
It is
does.
one of my favorite pastimes.
We have an entire thread in our Discord about Vic complaining about things.
It's not what that was supposed to be for.
Yeah, that's what it is now.
That must be from some splat book.
Right.
It's not PHP.
It probably just has a different name.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fine traps, probably.
Yeah, fine trap.
There's a trapper out here. It's basically what it is.
Maybe.
Alright. So you go to Normixel.
I'm guessing the teleport circle.
Well, yeah, you're the only one who can.
Yes. And I'm casting it to Caebris-nem, because we've never been there.
Okay.
So you're just flying?
No.
So you take the stuff I just took a minute to prepare, go to a new set of papers.
Second level. It's not even a ritual. Detect traps is fine traps is bad.
So we were supposed to be going to the Dwarven town, and you're like, nah, this was funny the first time we did it. Let's do that again, and just not go there.
Technically, what he said is we are going to the Dwarven City. You all agreed. He is, officially speaking, taking you to a Dwarven City.
I'm sure they got a church.
The most important point is that it has a major guild house here.
Yeah, but you don't know if they have free ink and all the other amenities the other one has. You're just assuming that.
I can cast it again if it's really that much of a bother.
Then you'll be back up to the same price for ink.
But we'll have earned the experience of what Caebris-nem's like.
Haven't we been to Caebris-nem?
Yeah.
No, we've not. Never been there.
Oh, yeah, let's go there. I don't see what I was complaining about.
They're complaining that they weren't told ahead of time.
Well, that's like the best kind of travel. That's a perk.
That's kidnapping.
That's a perk. What? You say kidnapping like it's a bad thing.
It is.
You didn't like when we put you in a bag and just carried you around.
That was a place I knew where we were going. I mean, you brought me out. Same place.
If we had brought them out somewhere different, totally fine.
Yeah, it would have been pretty interesting. Also, inside the bag was boring. Teleportation is instantaneous.
I wonder how close Teleport Circle last Keystone Marks is. If you could just like guess at one and teleport and just see where you end up.
That's how you wind up at the bottom of the ocean.
Yes.
Luck check.
Technically,
That's how you wound up at the bottom of the ocean.
if I'm nice.
Just luck check.
That's how
That
how
is
his
a
character
luck check.
travels exclusively when he doesn't have a group to
Yeah,
tell him not
that
to.
sounds like something you'd luck check for.
You usually just end up dead, though.
Yeah.
Where'd you end up? In space.
Where did you end up?
Who's
Well,
spent
part
a
of my
year
body
out
ended
here?
up at this teleport circle, and part of my body ended up over here.
Sequence break and end up in
Double
the
the
Shadow Temple.
adventure.
That's basically, if I haven't contacted you in a year, just go ahead and use that 10,000 gold reserve I put down on my res.
What do you mean 10,000 gold reserve? We're spending 1,000 gold and taking one of your fingers.
Just store this.
It doesn't stay functional for that.
I'm sure there's an item that will keep it for reserve.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
the-
refrigerator. You put it next to the oranges.
Nope, it's not consecrate, but gentle repose. Adds a week of time each time to it.
Just a magic gentle repose box
Uh-huh.
that keeps whatever's in it. Okay.
Then you'd also have to never have your finger regenerated.
Well, who needs all of these fingers? That's why you got 10 of them.
Yeah, and if we wanted to be actually nice, we would take like a pinky toe, something
Or a
you don't
nipple.
even need for dip balance.
Why don't you just take a nipple?
Yeah. You
Boys
got
don't
two of
use
those.
nipples.
You got
I
two
mean,
of
he'll
those.
never be king of Ireland, but other than that, he's fine. Because, yeah, you can't be king of Ireland if you don't have nipples.
He got that offer one time.
It wasn't specifically called Ireland, but I've been offered kingdoms before.
Because the Irish
The
king
land of
had-
Ire.
Yeah. the people there were very angry.
The way that you showed...
And they wanted you to fix it.
The way you
course you
showed
said no.
your submission to the Irish king was you sucked on his nipple, which one of the punishments of failing spectacularly in some way or another is you had your nipples removed, so you could never be king.
Neat.
Why do you know that?
Neat.
Don't answer that question. That's not an actual question.
Stephen Fry told me. I was watching quite interesting.
He personally told you.
I
like the idea that you sat down with Stephen Fry, and you're like, Stephen Fry, tell me something I don't know.
Tell me
and Stephen Fry is like,
Steven. I go, Steve. We call each other. I call him Steve. Steve, tell me about nipples. He's like, well, Michael, why don't I have something for you? No, I watched quite interesting. It came up in one of the episodes.
alright, so, and basically that takes you to the guild hall itself, correct?
Yeah,
wherever
the
they put
permanent
their-
teleport circle to Caebris-nem, because it was given to me by
The one in Narmexo
head guild.
was within the guild hall, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this would be the same. Because that was where you got it from. You got it from Gon's Daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let me just pull together the notes we have for the page so far. But yeah, so basically you end up with your little party in a fairly similar looking kind of sort of cushy room.
No large devils sitting against the wall?
No. There are other people, mostly dwarves, sort of sitting on cushions, reading through books.
Alright. Well, I'm going to go and announce our presence.
You
Nobody-
just abandon your non-guild members sitting here alone?
No.
Okay.
I call somebody over. And
Hey, you, random dwarf.
it's like, we've just arrived. I wanted to announce our presence. So,
I would like to point out that
Take it.
they admire my
Welcome.
magnificent beard. What was my bonuses to charisma checks with dwarves?
And you're exclusively dwarven super armor. Like, heritage level armor.
Yeah, it's legendary.
Dwarven played some holy symbol to the mother dwarf.
Belt of dwarven
You're a big
kind.
dwarf, aren't you? You're all big where you come from.
The biggest of dwarves.
Must be the water.
You want to learn smithing and everything. You're just a giant dwarf.
Fine with that.
Announce that these people have arrived. Taken care of.
I walk up to that guy and I point at the amulet.
He wants to know if there's a temple in town.
Like, snap and point at him.
He looks kind of confused at the amulet. We have a temple to Mora, didn't we?
Also,
That is technically the temple you're worshiping at. You're worshiping a saint, not the god.
Give him the thumbs up and then walk out. Turn back around.
He wants to know where the temple is.
Another thumbs up.
I don't even turn to look at him.
I say, whatever, this is our first time in town. Is there anything we should know?
Don't fall. But the temple is within the forges near the base of the city. Yes.
Walks out. I'm guessing there's some sort of just, spindly walkways everywhere.
Yeah.
And he just jumps off.
Look down. How far down is it?
From the guild hall is quite high up. This, so you walk out. What are the rest of you doing?
Walking out.
Okay.
It's like, we have the communication stones, so when you're done, I'm gonna go explore the city.
What was the plan?
I'll probably be here for a while.
He's writing down water breathing. And
So out of curiosity, if I grapple the ground, I take no falling damage, right?
That's not how things work. No.
I think that is how things work. I've seen multiple video games, so that's exactly how it works.
Well, that's not how that works. You may be able to, if you had distance, anchor yourself above. It could lower yourself, or tie on, or you could expend just rope and tie a knot in it, and lower yourself down. And by retracting the normal rope, it would automatically untie the knot at the far end and come in. So,
I could.
Or
just
he could just
fly.
hop.
If it's like 600 feet, I would just do that and zip line down like a boss.
well, remember, from one end it only goes 300 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he jumps 300 feet away and then shoots that out of both ends.
He has a safety net of flying shoes. He tries to boss it by just jumping into open air and trying to time it 300 feet to either point.
You're not quite at the top of the... Basically, you walk out, and there's a walkway and a slight railing. Enough that you're not accidentally just going to be walking along and falling, but enough that if you were horseplaying, you could flip over it without...
Okay.
Are these dwarven height, though?
They're a little higher up for it. They're kind of short for you.
Mm-hmm.
They're not... Yes, they're dwarven height. Dwarves are medium-sized creatures, though. It's not...
So, is there a decent judgment of how far down it is?
Can he see the bottom?
Is it worth using the rope, or should I just jump?
You cannot see the bottom.
Okay, I just jump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
And below you is lava! Mounds of...
Jesus.
I know, just let me finish my
We could see
description.
the lava if it was lava down there.
But the point is, he's not letting me...
No, what's even funnier is I walk over, the guy's like, don't fall. I walk out the door, look over the edge, he's just looking out the window, and I just go, and climb over the railing.
Hold that railing, come on down with you.
Now, let's be fair. To his own character, the things you're trying to describe, he doesn't notice because he just walks up, steps on the railing.
But you
and
guys
crawls
all walked
off.
out, too!
Oh, well, yeah, for us, after he jumps is when you tell the rest of us as we look around.
Anyways, so there's people walking back. There's enough for probably, a somewhat narrow cart could go along this sort of road, and people would have to kind of push up against the wall as it went by. Otherwise, 4 people abreast easily could.
Is it hanging on the ceiling or floating midair?
You, as of this point, are staying inside.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering description-wise.
Yeah.
You could probably wait it.
But technically, none of you know.
Okay.
Because you're on it, you can't see. But there are levels above you to which you sort of see walkways. Most of the walkways are kind of a grated material, and you can kind of see levels above and below. It does seem to be wide, but you can kind of see the curvature of the railings as it goes by, and there are just tiers of levels. Out from it, on this end, basically, it goes beyond your normal vision, but you see little points of light, little almost like weather communities, some probably 1,000, 1,500 feet away. What looks, basically you get kind of a view of, there's like a cave wall out that way, some grand distance. So, and there are people that are basically, there are little spots within that people are
Hanging
settled.
Spire City.
Yeah.
Tights?
Tied to the ceiling might touch the ceiling.
Yeah.
Stalactites hang from the ceiling, so I might saw them before.
Yeah.
So you jump. What's your goal with the jump?
To get down to where the forges are.
Okay.
Let's get to the bottom.
Just so you guys know, I've got 2 full days worth of writing that I can do.
Good. I have lots of training I can get done.
And we haven't spread the word of Erich yet. Because
I have all these useless business cards that say strong arms. They need to just say Erich.
Yes! I'm famous.
I still have
No, what we need to do is get them enchanted so you push the button and it tells a story.
But yeah, basically then flying and just going down to base level, you can see this city does connect at the to the ground at the very least. But yeah, you basically land on what is sort of a rough rock kind of ground below, and you can almost see kind of the beginning of technically the railings are a slight corkscrew. You can tell from down here. As you fall, you would have noticed that there are various points along the side where there are, say, ladders that maybe connect directly, like 5 different levels in a row. for people that don't want to have to continue corkscrewing up several levels that they can level, or there are points where there are almost like exterior kind of dumbwaiter systems of, it's set up where there's ropes that can pull up platforms on the side, and just all sorts of stuff just sort of rigged off of the side of this structure. But from the base here, you find yourself at the front gates to the city, where probably 24 ghouls sit in, basically like stone benches that are like just sort of carved outside of the entrance to these closed gates, and they're all in the biggest, baddest plate armor with big gnarly weapons, and they're got steins, and they're just having fun.
And I just land.
I get to the bottom and I explode with a thunderclap and
Wait.
then land.
Did you hop off too?
Yeah, with him.
You're all
Slightly
by
after he did. So he lands quietly. I land with a bang.
So you land, and people start all looking over, and then the bang happens, and the group just bursts into a laugh.
I, on the other hand, don't jump because I have no walking or flight.
Yeah.
If you had followed me down, I could have feather followed you.
Yeah, I walk over
And
point
I
at
probably
the,
would have.
point at the amulet and make
Probably.
pantomime forging. And they look confused. Looking around.
What do you think you can make?
Hold up axe, point at it.
Hardly, that's dwarven craft. Nice, though. Quite nice.
Paper. I'm apprenticed under. What's this fuck?
Gargle.
Yeah. Like,
And the Temple of Morden in that one city.
yeah. I visited da-da-da-da-da. I'd like to visit the temple here and see what I can learn.
Yeah, Narmixel.
And they like me, because I look dwarfy.
I don't know. What's this going? What's this purple friend?
I'm like,
I am the illustrious Erich Rauda.
I write down, I don't know that dude.
My tales are legend, my exploits famous.
That's a whole new meaning now.
I'm sighing so hard.
Very sorry. You can enter here. The gates open.
I give him a thumbs up and walk in.
Now you... Funny enough.
Yes, I am. But I tell a mediocre story. Not a particularly great one, but it's alright.
I mean, it's still...
18.
18, yeah.
17.
It's like... Your mediocre story is still...
It's one of my favorites. It's not very fancy, and only one dragon, but it's an old one.
But it has to do with food, so I picked
Only
it.
one dragon.
Oh yeah, so this use my fancy stein. This is actually an exploit of one of my later adventures where I fought 6 dragons.
That is a fancy dwarven magical mug.
Yes.
Corks's helmet over there was forged in dragon fire. We strapped him down, made him breathe. Saw the feet.
I'm just,
Yeah, I guess I know what I'm doing for the rest of the day.
you just hear a resounding sigh from me as I walk away.
Oh, yes, well, I did this. I've been here. I recently died.
Seems it didn't stick.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Again,
Warriors these
what is the
die
highest
so
level
easy.
spell of that grouping that you have?
4.
For anything there, yeah. If you're able to provide a scroll, you can get a version to copy from a book where you don't have the failure risk. They will still provide all the inks and etc.
Alright.
needed.
I will hand over all the scrolls that I purchased to the guild then.
You find yourself alone.
Jump off the bridge.
Kicked out of the guild hall that you're not a member of, and your friends have just left you. Children.
I didn't know he was coming. Is my excuse.
Yeah. Had no reason to.
Well, this be fine. I'm good in cities. I go around and just meet the people, give feel for the city.
Do you spiral up or down?
I'll start up, and I'll come back down.
Once you get to the other end, whereas the one side had sort of that look of a cave wall on it, the other end looks like it goes much further, and there's almost like an occasional glimmer along the ground level in that direction.
Man, this cave is huge.
Yes.
Like, I thought the other town cave was pretty big, but...
Yeah, and this is... yeah.
It's like, how doesn't this place collapse? But yeah, just being personable, going up and down, talking to people, getting a feel for what sells here. Are they racist like...
Dwarf?
Nope.
Nope, celestial and common.
You get a little less warm of a response. Yeah, no. And yes, they are still a bit racist, yes.
Yes.
I have the bushiest of beards, because I have not shaved, and I have been wearing this belt continuously for weeks.
Plus, it just actually gives you +2 interaction or advantage when dealing with dwarves.
Nope, that's the price. I wrote it down. 1 moment. Ahaha!
Doesn't matter.
I add my my proficiency to charisma bonus to charisma checks.
Yeah.
But anyways, you're basically entering. The first thing you see with along the spire is, and everything is always along just one side. Basically, all of the buildings and structures, businesses, residences, shops are built within the spire itself. Basically, there is one metal and stone spire that connects ground to roof, and then there is the walkway that kind of goes up it. The first, half rotation is stone, and then it kind of goes to that metal structure that is self-supported for the walkway around it. But yeah, the spire itself is a mixture of metal and stone. Some are, say, a residence might enter into a little hall that then splits off to a couple residences, once it's on an interior side. Others are larger buildings. The initial thing is that you get sort of, in tavern, just that sort of welcome kind of thing. And then there is basically a secondary gate that has, a few people. It's open and people are going through, but you're just kind of getting an eye from some of the dwarves sitting there. And that's when it gets more into the normal city. Basically, almost the idea of there's a little, we can just let travelers that are literally just passing through go through here, don't bother going further up. A basic general store, a couple of inns, and a tavern. Basically, the traveler's needs, and you don't really need to go further up from there. Anyways, shortly after that is where you start getting the forges. And given your time you spent at the temple, it is very easy for you to go past a few and be like, it's a worksman. That's a temple.
How diameter is this spire?
It is probably 80 to 100 feet.
Okay, so not very big.
Yeah, not
I didn't know if it was like a mile,
No. Could be maybe, I'd have to really do more math. Maybe up to 150, I'm not exactly sure. But it's not incredibly large, no.
Yeah.
It is.
Adam, is my shield of Dwarven make? Because, I mean, almost everything else is. I was just
Where did you get the shield?
It's magical. That's all
Yeah, I got it. I traded my old shield for this shield at the...
Obsidian. Or...
No. Corpse card.
Oh.
And you just got the shield from them there?
Yeah.
It would not be Dwarf making it.
Oh, you traded that one down in the other city of... Not Obsidian, but...
Onyx.
Onyx, yeah. Is where you upgraded your shield.
Okay. Yeah, there.
Would also still not be of Dwarf making it.
Mm-hmm. I have to see if they'll trade me for the exact same thing, but make it so the color scheme matches.
It's probably a similar metal. It's not. It doesn't stand. It wouldn't stand out to a non-dwarf.
Yeah, but at this point, he doesn't care about non-dwarves. He's a dwarf. They're all racist.
It's there.
Well, they're that polite racist.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not going to beat you or lynch mob you. You're just slightly lesser than us. And that's okay.
You couldn't have been born a dwarf. There's nothing you could do about it. It's just a shame for you.
And obviously there is something magically you can do about it.
Otherwise, entering, it is Forge and Worksmith. It doesn't seem to quite have the living orphanage sort of, house feel to this temple that was there in Merrenoloths.
That may have just been the Saints doing.
Yeah.
But they'll still train me?
You can spend today kind of trying to convince them to do so, and with the amount of work you've had, yes. But they kind of put you through your paces before they'll believe
That you're the inheritor of true dwarf craft.
Yeah. Do you even bother to enter the city, or do you just continue to trade stories back and forth with this, dozen dwarf?
Oh yeah, we're gonna sit there, we're gonna drink, we're gonna tell stories. This whole what we're doing now.
And it's a great story to slightly put each other down.
And they're all they're kind of bored and tipsy, and they'll just keep going
Until they lose.
Oh, you out of stories?
never
I'm not
take
even
it.
done with half my stories. I haven't even
There's-
gotten to the time I was
There's
reincarnated.
a dozen of them.
Yeah, and they'll still lose.
It's like, we're
No
only
one
on to my
makes up-
4th lifetime.
No one makes up stories more than Eric.
All my stories are true, at least a little bit.
You would never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
I feel like when Austin made his character, his idea was a character that made up stories, but I didn't take it that route.
Not the world just shapes itself to my will.
It's like,
Either that or you are in actuality just a personification of Farling Gun. You just wander
That's it.
around.
I'm actually this avatar. Got loose from the god, went off on his own, and he just like, yeah, that sounds good.
No, got
That's-
loose from the
that's
god,
why
went
he-
off on his own. Farlington found him and said, I can't even be mad.
here, take this compass!
That is exactly what I would do. In fact, I will just reabsorb your memories and keep sending you back out every time you die.
Yeah, that's what the death was all about. And he's like, hey, man.
To re-download new memory set and put back in body.
And he's like, are you done? No, I want to go back. I wasn't finished.
Yeah.
I'm that a boy. So yeah, as you go up, and also it doesn't take more than probably a full spire before you kind of start noticing golden-plated armored guard that's kind of really, just as you are approaching, not physically stopping you, but really giving you a stink eye as you're...
He's challenging you to a duel.
I ask if above here is private residences and stuff. If not, I'll be on my way.
Sure. Residences, yes. Privates, for sure.
You okay? I'll start spiraling back down the other way.
And it was
I
kind
just
of
assume it's whatever city leader lives at the top.
yeah.
That seems to be the motif down here, just like it would be up. Well, now everything was on a flat plane inside a forest, so not like back in town.
Yes, the cities are much more impressive here than the place where you guys came from.
Yes.
Yeah, with
Are all single level houses. But yeah, explore the city the rest of the day.
Yeah, you're able to get a bit of a feel for it. And yeah, and it kind of, you do still get sort of district areas, almost a feel over some time that maybe, like, people in this level may never really bother going more than maybe 3 levels one way or another, and things kind of repeat on different levels often.
Well, here's your bakery, your grocery store, and your other thing. And go down 3 levels, here's your bakery, grocery store, and other things.
Now that you've explored the city and got a feel for it, you can move at double speed through it.
This literal one-track city. Even more so than the last Dwarven city that had a main road.
To be fair, the way you would do that would be utilizing all of the
ladders.
Yeah, the ladders and the the pulley systems, and yeah, you think you could. That's meant for carrying goods, but if no one's around, I can just hop on there.
I'm imagining Jimmy being the kid in the elevator, pushing all the buttons and be like, "Where's this one go? Where's this one go?"
Gotta explore a new city. Get a feel for it. At least this time, hopefully, I won't get arrested because someone's crazy with me asking very pointed questions about their secrets.
That's why you left him behind. That's why you're traveling alone.
Yes, the party route goes alone.
Less crazy, less crazy, less crazy. I've just noticed I'm probably the sanest one in the group.
Yeah, but how many, queens and empresses have you met?
Like one.
Yeah, it's like not even close to my number.
No.
So, when evening draws near, you're allowed to stay where you're at. You're fine.
I'll eventually end up down in the lower levels, I guess, to find a tavern or inn for the evening.
I mean, there are places spotted throughout if you want to just pick one.
Yeah.
When I start getting drowsy and need to actually go to sleep, I ask anybody if they would like to copy any of the spells out of my book while I'm sleeping.
It's like I have 8 hours of open free time. You can get 8 levels of spells from my book.
Someone within there will probably just check yours amongst things, and they're just one of the higher ups within there.
Yeah, and it's like I'm willing to.
We'll see what.
Here's my gnomish glow-in-the-dark code. Have fun!
I know, it's functionable. So what do you do?
Well, what do the other dwarves do?
They're starting to change out guard.
Oh, they're guards?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Good job. I didn't even try to get through that gate. Didn't even try.
And fully distracted.
Advanced guarding techniques.
But during this time, 12 giant monsters ravaging the
town. Where does a
town.
fella pass out after a day of hard work around here?
How is it? Yeah, and just do that.
Oh, well, I go that way.
Yeah. And probably around this time, that second gate that I mentioned to him is closed off. So literally you have entered through this, and you just have, 4 buildings. You have 2 inns, you have a tavern, and you have, just sort of a general store.
Well, I get to one of the inns.
Yeah. Easy enough. Do you bother trying to find any of your friends, or do you just select random inn and...
Select random inn.
Yeah.
I mean, the hardest is going to be well, Erich. I know where Ryan is. I know where Bob will be. The temple with the forging thing. That's where Bob is.
And what do you do?
Did they not let me bed down in the temple?
There is nowhere to bed down in the temple.
Is there an inn nearby?
It's pretty near the ones at the base.
But that gate's closed now.
Yeah, they'll open it from his side if you want to leave.
Is there not any up?
You have not gone up beyond the temple, so you would have to explore.
I just ask.
Of course there's some things up.
So
the people you're asking live here and don't use an inn. But yeah, there are inns up there.
I wonder if they know where.
You just keep walking around, you'll find them.
Thumbs up, start flying up the spiral looking.
That technically only leaves you looking on one side.
I don't know, spiraling around, just not walking.
Because yes, with the layout of the city, if you go from one end of the city there, you literally pass every building that's here.
Alright, I just fly up until I find an inn.
Yeah. Easy enough. Takes a few spins up, but probably about 4 more levels up, and yeah, you find one that's further up.
How many feet is it?
2.
I want to zip line down in the morning. That is the purpose for asking.
I mean, it's going to be, what, 50? Maybe a little more?
Oh, so I can totally zip line down.
Yeah. Yeah, between those levels, and you're not that high, yeah, you're easily... I mean, to be fair, from where you are with this, if you look down, you don't see the ground.
He has a 60-foot dark vision.
And they have lights down there. It's a city. There's lights.
Yeah, but when you look over the edge, what you're looking at is the ground below.
Like, the city expands out.
There's not a good way for you to try and zipline down to a lower level. You basically go down to the ground and then go in, or you would be bouncing along the side and the rails and the ladders and all as you go.
You'd have to run, jump off, turn around, zip, shoot it at a lower level, then pull yourself up to it. Which is totally doable.
Okay, so yeah, I just find it and...
Anyways, yeah, just general...
Spectacle.
Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, so you all bed down in very different parts of the city for the evening. But yeah, and that's where we'll pick up next time. Let's go with let's just keep copying 4,000 experience. And join us next time for more.
All right.